What's up, Legions? Dusty's here, back with another video, and if you're looking to absolutely dominate your opponents in PvP, you've come to the right place, because today we're diving deep into Arc Raiders with 20 crucial PvP tips and tricks that will take your gameplay to the next level. I've spent days grinding, collecting footage and breaking down every replays to bring you the real stuff. Not random advice, but game-changing strategies and micro plays that pros use every single day. And the best part, every tip comes with clear, real in-game examples, so you won't just hear it. You'll see exactly how to apply it and start turning those losses into wins. We've got a lot to cover, guys, so grab your snack, stay hydrated and lock in, because even the smallest tip can make the biggest difference. Alright, let's kick things off with this. Listen up, because this is a little story that completely changed how I think about tactics in this game. So you guys have definitely heard the legend, right? The myth. The straight up fact that you can use grenades to push people around the map, yeah? That thing. But I'm not talking about the big flashy ones like wolf packs, no. I mean those tiny cheap ass dirt craftable grenades, these little guys secretly OP for solo plays, especially when you want to close the gap. So picture this, I'm just in a match minding my own business, third partying some poor guys as usual, and then boom, one of them decides to fire back, probably because I missed half of my shots. But then his strategy to close the gap, man, it was next level. I legit had to respect it. He just starts sprinting at me, full send, no hesitation, and get this, while he's running, he's spamming those tiny impact grenades at my feet, constantly tossing them. It was insane. He didn't quite finish me, he didn't win the fight, thankfully I survived, but holy cow, it gave him the perfect opening. That was straight up brilliant. Make sure to do that. That's how you close gap, my dude. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it's this. Stepping out to gather intel is almost always the worst thing you can do in a third-person shooter. You don't really need to expose your whole body to figure out where your enemy is. The moment you peek, you're already giving them a full second to line up their shots before you even realize they're there. That's a death sentence. Your third-person camera is your best tool. It's free information. Use your zoom or aim down sight function without actually moving your character model. Stay behind cover, keep your head down and zoom in. You'll spot everything you need, and all without losing a single point of health. Information is power, but only if you get it for free. Use your camera smartly, stay hidden, and only commit to fight when you know exactly what you're walking into. Alright, listen up, because this next tip might change how you approach close quarter combats. We're all programmed to aim down sights, right? It's muscle memory thing, it's coming from other games. But what if I told you, you don't always need to aim to be effective? In fact, sometimes it's the wrong move. Here's the thing, in many close range situations, hip firing can actually be faster and just as accurate depending on the weapon you're using. We're talking a split-second difference that can literally mean life or death in a tight fight. Now of course, this isn't for every gun, you wouldn't hip fire a sniper across the map obviously, but for weapons like Beretta, the Venator, the Renegade, and most close range SMGs or shotguns like Stitcher or Toro, hip fire is crazy good. These weapons are designed for chaos, and their hip fire accuracy is tighter than you expect. So why should you make the switch? Imagine this, someone pushes you right in your face. In that instant, the tiny delay of aiming down sights, even just a few frames, can cost you the fight. And on the other hand, hip fire lets you react faster, no animation delay, just instant fire. You can keep moving to maintain full strafe speed and making you a harder target. At the same time, you can maintain the pressure, you're constantly dishing out damage without interrupting your fellow. It's about continuous combat, not pausing to line up a perfect shot when the enemy is practically breathing down your neck. So next time someone rushes your cover, don't freeze up trying to ADS. Trust your hip fire, stay mobile, and melt them before they even realize what happened. What if you could hit targets you can't even see? Building on our discussion of hipfire, we're now talking about a technique that separates the good players from the great: pre-shooting and blind firing. In many competitive shooters, pre-shooting isn't just a trick, it's a must-know skill. It's all about anticipation and pressure, hitting first, thinking faster, and forcing your enemy to react on your terms. Picture this, you know an enemy is tucked behind cover, a wall, a crate, a doorway. Most players peek, then react, then shoot, but not you. You flip the script. As you swing out, you're already holding the trigger. You start firing before you even fully see them, and that half second of bullet travel or lucky spread, it often means you land the first hit while they're still adjusting. You've shortened the reaction window and turned the fight in your favor. Now let's talk about shooting through a smoke or any kind of visual blocker. You toss a smoke to cover your push, or the enemy throws one to stall you. Instead of waiting for it to clear, trust your instincts. If you saw someone entering moving left, Don't shoot where they were, imagine where they're going to be. Keep your aim slightly ahead, spray that predicted path. This isn't blind luck, it's calculated guesswork. You're using timing, movement cues and confidence, and it doesn't stop there. When you're clearing rooms or pushing hot corners, don't wait for perfect sightlines. If you know someone's there, shoot first, keep moving, stay unpredictable and push with pressure. This style of play wins fights because you're dictating the tempo. You're the aggressor, so remember, pre-shooting and blind fire aren't random spray, they're about calculated aggression and trusting your read. Let your bullets lead the way before your eyes even catch up. This one is really important because movement is everything in Arc Raiders, and there's one key mechanic that most players completely overlook. You can't shoot while rolling, yes, but you can shoot and even reload while sliding. That one difference, it's a massive tactical edge. When you slide, you're not just moving fast, you're changing your hitbox, your sightline, and the enemy's rhythm all at once. Think about it, most players keep their crosshair locked at head height, right? So the second you drop into a slide, their tracking falls apart. Their aim suddenly has to chase downward, awkward, uncomfortable and a slow position. Meanwhile, you're staying mobile, landing shots and closing the gap. I've honestly lost count of the times I've used the tactical slide to squeeze off those final shots, secure a reposition faster or snap that crucial reload. All of this while fundamentally staying harder to hit than if I stood still. Remember, this specific difference, use the movement mechanics strategically, master the slide shot. It's not just travel, it's an offensive and defensive tool that can completely turn the tide of fight. And it means rolling for defensive, sliding for aggressive play. Keep that in mind. And speaking of gaining a decisive edge and turning the tide of battle, let's pivot from how you move to where you move, because in any shooter, positioning is everything. Hear me out. Position is, without a doubt, the single most important factor in any fight. And when it comes to positioning, high ground isn't just an advantage, it's your best friend. Always try to take the fights from above. This isn't just about looking cool, it's about control. From an elevated position, your shots are easier to land, while your enemy's shots become desperate and inaccurate. You see more, react faster, and gather intel on flanks or incoming pushes long before they see you. Even if you lose the initial exchange, high ground gives you the breathing room to fall back, heal up, and re-engage on your terms. Bottom line, in every single engagement, make high ground your top priority. The higher you fight, the higher your chances of winning. We talked about securing the high ground. That gives us the tactical advantage, but sometimes the enemy has already locked down perfect cover or they've taken a position we just can't flank. When that happens, how do you dislodge a stubborn opponent without recklessly picking into a guaranteed loss? You use tools for positional control. I've probably already mentioned how powerful grenades are for pushing enemies, but forget just pushing them forward. Here is another far more strategic way to use utility. Use grenades to force enemy out of cover. Think about it, they are locked down perfectly behind that pillar or rock. You threw a well-placed frag or whatever you have and suddenly they are forced to reposition. They are out in the open, vulnerable and moving predictably. That moment of scrambling is your free shot, often allowing you to win the entire fight without nearly as much risk. But grenades aren't just for offense either, they are absolutely essential defensively. If an enemy is aggressively pushing your position or trying to cut off your lane, you can throw a grenade to keep them behind cover. That buys you crucial game-winning time. That time can be used to heal up, revive a down teammate, or execute a tactical reposition to the objective, depending on the situation. The key here is to think of grenades as tools for control, not just damage. Timing and placement can completely shift the equilibrium of the fight in your favor, turning the stalemate or a disadvantaged fight into a winning opportunity. Master positional control first and then master using utility to enforce that control. But even the best utility usage can't save you if your immediate reaction under fire is poor. It all comes down to self-control. The absolute foundational rule, don't panic when someone starts shooting at you. In Arc Raiders, you're going to get caught off guard a lot. It's part of the game. But what really matters is how you react in that crucial first second. The instant you take damage, prioritize checking your shot indicator. It's going to flash and show you exactly the direction the attack came from, or you have already heard the shot and you know where it came from. As soon as you know the general direction, here's the critical step. Don't shoot back right away. Find cover first, stay low and take a split second to locate your enemy before you re-engage. I know it sounds basic, but you'd be surprised how many players skip this step. Panic and either run straight into the open or die behind the wrong cover, or they're just trying to shoot back. Stay calm. think fast, and you'll win way more fights. Another common mistake, and one that will get you eliminated fast, is to just stand still and trade shots. Never just stand there and trade fire, unless you have absolute confirmation that your enemy's HP is significantly lower than yours and you can finish them in that single burst. Even if you're itching to finish them off, burning through all your health in a direct shootout is incredibly risky and leaves you vulnerable to their teammates or another ambush. The smarter, more strategic approach is to shoot a few precise rounds, then disengage and duck back into cover as soon as they return fire. And actually this isn't retreating, this is controlling the fight. This way you stay safe, regain control of the engagement, and most importantly, you get to choose your next move. After that quick peek and shoot, you can return fire from a different angle, reposition, or even push in when the timing is absolutely right. Remember, movement is life in Arc Raiders. Staying mobile keeps you alive, keep your opponents guessing, and gives you the tactical advantage every single time. Speaking of movement, let's zoom in on how this applies directly to those intense one-on-one duels. Staying mobile during fight is absolutely crucial, especially when you are isolated in a one-on-one duel. If you have cover nearby, which you absolutely should, use it. Master the rhythm of shoot, duck behind cover, then repeat. This constant shooting and sitting keeps you unpredictable, it forces your enemy to miss most of their shots even if their aiming is good, and gives you a much better chance to win the fight. Mobility isn't just about covering distance, it's about controlling the pace of the battle. Use the rhythm to stay safe and accurate, and you'll eliminate the competition. And also we can pivot that idea of movement onto your opponent. We have to talk about predicting the enemy's movement, because this is where true tracking mastery begins. Yes, your skill with the mouse, your raw aim is the foundation, but that's just the start. I'd argue that 70% of high-level tracking isn't raw mechanical strengths, it's accurately predicting the next move of your enemy. Are they going to commit to that jump? Are they going to strafe wide or tight towards cover? If you have a better understanding of common movement patterns and likely escape routes, you can easily anticipate their next move. Just by accurately predicting that trajectory, you can keep your crosshair glued on them and shoot consistently clean. So, treat your movement as your best defense and treat prediction as your primary weapon enhancement. Master those two concepts and you'll start winning those close-range duels far more often. Now, speaking of turning the tide and making the most out of every PvP encounter, this next tip might not be a direct PvP strategy you can apply inside a duel, but it's absolutely crucial knowledge that can save your entire run and boost your gains, especially when things are about to get hairy. This is something you need to know about the map's exit mechanics. So, you hit that elevator button to leave, right? It takes 30 seconds for the elevator to actually arrive. On top of that, each match starts with 30 minutes timer. When the timer runs out, if you're still on the map and haven't used the elevator, you're gonna die instantly. Game over. However, here's the game changer. Even if the full 30-minute match timer runs out, as long as you already pressed the elevator button, at some point before the timer hits 0, you buy yourself a crucial 2-minute buffer. That's right, 2 whole minutes. During this newfound window, you can either safely loot the bodies you have already finished off, or confidently finish that last squad without the immense pressure of the main timer running out. To be honest, knowing when and how to extract effectively is a massive advantage. Yes, it's all about playing smart and controlling the situation. And speaking of controlling the situation and making enemies regret their decisions, let's pivot from macro level game mechanics to micro level combat trick. This next strategy is all about baiting your enemies and turning their aggression against them. One incredibly effective strategy to bait your enemy is to ignore them, even if they land a few shots on you. Your immediate reaction must be moving toward a cover or an objective. I've said that before, but this time it's different. This seemingly passive movement will often make them overconfident and chase you across open ground. But here's the trick. Don't play it slow once you're in the position. Peek as soon as possible, land a few critical shots, or even kill them while they're still pushing. They're usually not ready because they think you're low on easy pickings, but you can use this false assumption to your massive advantage and return fire hard. This kind of decisive tactical play, where you shift the advantage in an instant, is absolutely crucial. And speaking of grabbing a critical advantage at just the right moment, even in the chaos of battle, let's talk about something incredibly daring, a smart mid-fight looting. You should never loot while a fight is still happening. Yes, normally you loot when the fight's over. That said, a smart mid-fight looting can be a game changer. If you're running weak free loadout and grab the enemy's best weapon mid-fight, it can flip the outcome. Don't rifle through their bag, be surgical, grab the weapon and a matching magazine or two, then go back to the fight. Make the pick only if you can do it in a split second. In my clip, I grab a Venator of a downed enemy, immediately switch to it, and it helped us to kill the next squad. That quick decision won us the fight. That kind of advanced split-second decision making is exactly what I wanted to focus on in this video. Now you might remember at the start of the video I said we were going to have 20 tips and tricks, but honestly as I went through all of it I just applied quality over quantity. Thanks for watching this video all the way till this moment, and if there's anything else that you think was an advanced feature and I didn't mention it in the video, I really appreciate it if you commented down below. Liking the video is going to help a lot. I truly appreciate that. It helps get it pushed to even more people so they can watch it and keeps me motivated to keep uploading videos for fellow Ark Raiders. This game is so addictive and I absolutely love it. At this point, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more from me. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, much love, and as always, peace out.